Hello students, welcome back to Social Studies digital class. How are you all? Okay, children, in previous session we have started chapter 18 Emerging Political Trends 1977 to 2000. In part 1 we have already studied the second phase of independence. So what are all the different political events were taking place in this period we were discussing. Okay, today in this part 2 session we shall continue the topic. Are you all ready with your textbooks? Okay, good. Emerging Political Trends 1977 to 2000. Children, by the end of this session you will be able to learn, you will be able to understand the Rajiv Gandhi's contribution to the country, and you will be able to analyze the coalition government with examples, and you will be able to differentiate between the two phases, that is the first phase of independence and the second phase of independence. Children, in part 1 we have discussed that the assassination of Indira Gandhi, her son Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister. So let us see what are all the, let us study about the regime of Rajiv Gandhi. The new initiatives in the Rajiv Gandhi's era. Rajiv Gandhi began a peace initiative in Punjab, Assam and Mizoram, and even in the neighboring country of Sri Lanka. Children, in the previous part we have learnt about the Punjab agitation and Assam agitation, and how after becoming the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi tried to bring peace by making agreements in these states. So he tried to bring peace among the people, and even he tried to bring peace, maintaining peace even in our neighboring country, that is Sri Lanka. So what happened here was, most of our Indian Tamilians, they went to Sri Lanka. So there was a conflict between the Indian Tamilian people and the Sinhala government there. So Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi sent our Indian army to bring peace in that area. But however, this could not be a successful attempt. And secondly, he realized that the development did not reach the real beneficiaries. That means, children, Rajiv Gandhi felt that in one famous speech, he said that the development beneficiaries are not reaching to the actual beneficiaries. That means the fruit of the development is not reaching to the real beneficiaries. For example, he said that if we are spending 1 rupee for the poor people, it is reaching 15 paisa for them. So he said that mostly the women, tribal people, and they were the people who could not achieve the benefit. So children, what do you think? Why this is not reaching to the real beneficiaries? There are some reasons. Say for example, first it is illiteracy. That means most of our Indian people were illiterates at that time, and they could not know, they didn't even aware of the welfare programs that were intended for them. So they were not aware of that. Secondly, corruption. Corruption means, see, that is earning dishonest, no integrity. That means using the power for the selfish reasons. So corruption was also a reason. So if the budget releases fund for the beneficiaries, by the time it reaches to the people, on the way they will be diluted, and it reaches very little to the real beneficiaries. So Rajiv Gandhi felt that this could be done by making active participation of people in governance. For this, he initiated Panchayat Raj institutions. So, Panchayat Raj institutions, through this people directly contact with government and get the beneficiaries. Thirdly, he also felt that the best way to do was ensure the participation of the mass in Panchayat Raj institutions. So, these were the major initiatives taken by Rajiv Gandhi which lasted the best results in the following years. Rajiv Gandhi, his government's budget in 1985 moved towards liberalized system. After becoming Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi's government, in his first budget, he did the liberalized programs. He initiated famous telecom revolution in India. That means, tele means over a distance. Communication means ability to share the information. So, in those days, there was very less technology was used. So, Rajiv Gandhi felt that India needs to adapt modern technology so that the development could be achieved in India. So, he initiated the telecom revolution by using the technology by satellites. During 1970s and 1980s, India made many different achievements in technology and cooperatives, etc. like Sriharikota launch of PSLV and Amul Cooperative Society, and even you can see the telephone exchange. So, initial of telecom communication. Now, let us discuss some of the problems arised during this period like communalism and corruption in high places. Communalism means a strong belief of religious behavior that will lead to extreme behavior and also violence against other religions. And corruption means achieving misuse of position, that means using different methods to earn money. Firstly, in 1985, the Supreme Court passed judgment on a case filed by 𝗧-𝗦𝗔𝗧. Here, 𝗧-𝗦𝗔𝗧, she was a Muslim lady who was divorced from her husband, and the Supreme Court gave a judgment regarding this matter for the husband to pay the maintenance for the wife. But this decision was welcomed by progressive Muslims, but orthodox sections protested against this. So, there was a tension in this regard. But later in 1986, the government, under the pressure of orthodox sections, again changed and made a law that the maintenance should be given for a short period of 3 months. Next issue was Ayodhya temple and Babri Masjid issue. This was a controversial place where some sections of Hindus, they started a campaign for building the temple for their god Rama. But Muslim section, they claimed that this place is a holy worship place for Muslims. So, this was a controversial issue. In this regard, the Supreme Court gave a decision that masjid will be opened all the days in a year, and temple also the Hindus can come in daily basis and can worship their god. And thirdly, there were number of movements under non-political leaderships. Say for example, in apart from these religious issues and controversial temple and masjid issues, there were also some non-political issues like in UP and Maharashtra, farmers were fighting for MSP price, that is minimum support price. So, they were demanding for the increase in the prices and also for their benefit, and in other places tribal people were also protesting for building the dams in their forest areas. So like that, so many other issues were going on in some other parts of the country. So all these issues weakened the fabric of Indian polity and to the Indian government. And finally, there was also bribes from Sweden manufacturers. This is the case that during that time, this Swedish company was supplying guns for Indian army. There were claims that officials have corrupted. That means they have taken bribes from this company. So all these issues made a rise to the communal polity in the country. So all these issues were taken in the next election campaign. They were used for their political reasons. Next elections were held in 1989. Congress did not have enough seats to form a government on its own. So the first coalition government led by VP Singh's Janata Dal was formed. What is coalition government? Coalition government is nothing but when a political party could not get majority of seats to form a government, then 2 or 3 parties will form together a government. That is called coalition government. So there will be several political parties in the government instead of one political party. So VP Singh's government was the first coalition government in India. Let us see the era of coalition politics in India. There was policy paralysis. That means coalition could not implement any policy for serious change with the fear of withdrawal of support by other partners. Since this coalition government is a mixture of combine of several political parties, so they could not implement any reform on a serious base. And let us see some of the coalition governments. BJP led National Democratic Alliance (NDA) government and Congress led United Progressive Alliance (UPA). See children, in West Bengal there was a left government was formed in 1977 combining of Communist Party of India, Forward Bloc Party, Revolutionary Socialist Party and Communist Party of India Marxist CPM. All these political parties formed the left government in West Bengal 1977. And this left front government was led by Jyoti Basu from CPM. So in West Bengal there was one successful land reform program was taken up by the left front government. Children, did you remember you learnt in your 8th class about West Bengal land reforms? Yes, it was a successful state. It was a successful reform in West Bengal about land reforms. This land reforms program is known as Operation Barga. In 1978, this government launched Operation Barga to record the names of the sharecroppers. And then the Operation Barga depended on sharecroppers and Panchayat Raj institutions avoiding bureaucracy delay. So there will not be any delay in implementing this program. And as a result of all this Operation Barga, half of the rural households in West Bengal have received the landform benefits. So initially we have learned that to get the beneficiaries, the full fruits of the development should reach to the people without any diluting. So here this is one example, Operation Barga, which was implemented in West Bengal, where the land reforms program was successfully implemented. Let us see some political concerns in the last decade of the 20th century. Extension of constitutional privileges, use of religion and politics, and economic liberalization. Let us discuss one by one. Extension of constitutional privileges. Janata Dal government focused on inclusive development, ensuring opportunities for the people from backward communities. For example, at that time, Mandal Commission in National Front government recommended reservations for other backward classes, OBC. And this process also meant that Indian polity became more sensitive to caste issues. Here is an important, we need to note that initiation of Panchayat Raj institutions and 73rd and 74th amendments of the constitution. What is the meaning of amendment, children? So if anything, any changes need to be made in the constitution, that will be done through amendments. Amendment means to make the changes in the constitution. So in 1992, P.V. Narasimha Rao's government passed an important amendment, that is 73rd Constitutional Amendment, creating the institutions of local self-governments at the village level, and the 74th Amendment did the same. That means institutions of local self-governments in towns and cities. So under this Panchayat Raj institutions, office bearers at the local level elected on the basis of universal adult franchise. That means whoever all having the right to vote, they will elect their rulers. And seats were also reserved for women, SC and tribal people. And if the states that decide on what functions were to be devoted to their local self-governments. So that after the 73rd and 74th amendments, the states have their own different implementation of this Panchayat Raj institutions. Next, use of religion and politics. In 1984 Lok Sabha elections, they won 2 seats. So BJP campaigned for the building of a temple at the side of the mosque in the controversial place of Ayodhya. So in 1990, 𝗂𝗽𝗍𝗧, the leader of BJP, led a Rath Yatra from Somnath to Ayodhya, demanding for building of a temple. All these resulted in communal conflicts and ended with the arrest of Advani in Bihar. During this election campaign only, Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated by Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTTE, a Tamil separatist group of Sri Lanka, as a retaliation for his role in sending Indian army to Sri Lanka. Just now in the starting we learnt that the Rajiv Gandhi, as a peace initiative, he sent Indian army to Sri Lanka to maintain the peace. So for this, as a revenge, the LTTE people assassinated Rajiv Gandhi in the election campaign. In 1992, a large crowd mobilized on behalf of the temple campaign gathered in Ayodhya and destroyed the mosque. And this event led to the widespread protest against and communal rights. Rights means protesting, attacks, in which many people were killed. Let us see another important event in this second phase of independence was economic liberalization. If we heard this name economic liberalization, we need to remember P.V. Narasimha Rao. So in 1991, when the V.P. Singh's government fell, India was facing very serious economic crisis at that time. Crisis means problems, challenges. So in 1992, the new government under P.V. Narasimha Rao was formed and it negotiated with IMF, International Monetary Fund, for loans to the tide over the crisis. Let us see what are these. IMF laid down certain stringent conditions which are known as structural adjustment program, due to which many changes occurred in the country. First, drastic reduction of government expenditure. That means the government has reduced its expenditure. And reducing restrictions and taxes on import of foreign goods, the goods which are coming from foreign countries, other countries, there should be some restrictions and taxes to be laid. Then reducing the restriction on foreign investments in India. So previously there were many restrictions for investing in India by the foreign countries. So here it is suggested to reduce the restrictions. So that's why these are all known as liberalization policies. Liberal means free. Next, opening up of many sectors of economy like telephone, banking, airlines, and also to the private investors. So all these steps or measures taken during P.V. Narasimha Rao's government, later due to these many developmental activities were done in India. So the 20th century closed with an India which was drawn into the world market. So it was a test time over the 50 years and had built a relatively stable economy and deeply rooted democratic politics. And this was the legacy of the 50 years of post-independence period left for the 21st century India. So children, in this period only, the India has faced a number of challenges, but during these challenges only it has strengthened itself. But still there are many challenges the India was facing. Let us hope that all these will be succeed in the future. That's all children. With this we will conclude this chapter, and let us have a quick recap of what we have learnt in this session. Let us have a quick recap of what we have learnt in this session. We have learned the new initiatives taken by Rajiv Gandhi, and there was a rise of communalism and corruption in high places. And we have discussed about the coalition politics period and the left front government in West Bengal and successful implementation of land reforms program, and political concerns in the last decade of the 20th century, that is extension of constitutional privileges, use of religion and politics, and economic liberation. Here are the important questions for you. Read the textbook thoroughly and try to answer. Looking back from the present, what do you think were the lasting contribution of Rajiv Gandhi to the century? Looking back from the present, what do you think were the lasting contribution of Rajiv Gandhi to the country? Children, we discussed Rajiv Gandhi initiated telecom revolution. So that was a result of major drastic changes in the technology in India. So later, by using these technologies, now the world has become as a global village. Previously, if we want to send messages, they will be taking a lot of time. But now all the smartphones have come, internet is available, so we can easily reach or send the message to any corner of the world by using the technologies. See, even live, if anything is happening in other country also, at the same time we can, sitting in our own homes, we can watch it as a live. So that is the advantage of the technology, using technology. So this telecom revolution has made the information, transfer of information very easy. Next children, we have come across many prime ministers in this lesson. So prepare an album by collecting the photos of prime ministers of India and write what are their specialities. See, for example, Rajiv Gandhi, he made peace initiatives and he introduced Panchayat Raj system and also telecom revolution. And P.V. Narasimha Rao, he brought economic liberalization. In that way, you need to mention their speciality. And what are the effects of changes of telecom revolution on the human lifestyles? and discuss why the poorest people do not get the benefits from the schemes intended for them and what steps to be taken to ensure the benefits really the poor. So children, with this we have completed this chapter. Read the textbook thoroughly and for better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets given for you and please visit the official site of SCERT. Thank you.